you know, like, okay.
Only to fuck you.
No, not to fuck me. I would never fuck anyone
from
my
his,
age.
like-
No, but he's saying from his perspective, he'd only be friends with you because that's his goal.
Yeah, that's his goal, and he has nothing else.
No,
And I'd
unless
argue
we
that's
grew
why
up
most
together,
men-
like someone I grew up with. That's why I had to take that back. You know, friends my age, someone I grew up with, our family knew each other. But other than that, the men that I'm interested in are older.
Yeah, that's just why. Yeah.
So let me just pose this question: because I don't think anybody's in a relationship. Nobody.
Damn.
If you were
in jail.
Focus on.
Oh yeah, that, I don't know if that really counts.
Yeah, but
I mean,
My man.
'Cause I don't know how
do
you
you
do
send
it
off for
anyway.
service, so you know? Do you send them JPay?
I don't do nothing.
You don't do nothing. Oh man.
You don't do
so,
JPay?
so what I'm saying is that if you were in a relationship with a guy hypothetically, and I'm sure some of you guys have maybe been in a relationship before, so you have that experience. Would you be comfortable with your boyfriend having a girlfriend that's more attractive than you?
Ooh.
And why not?
Raise your hand if you are.
If I'm comfortable with
Yep.
that,
So the question is, just so I make sure, so for them,
Polygamy?
would you be?
That's what
Would
it
they be
said?
okay with their boyfriend or their male counterpart having a female
A
friend,
female friend
that's more
not a
attractive than
girlfriend.
them?
Yeah, that's more attractive than them.
Okay, how many of you would be okay with that? Raise of hands
Can we
for
think about it
yes.
for a second?
Yeah, think about it.
Who would be okay with that? Raise of hands for yes.
Yeah, I'll
One.
be all right with that.
One.
I don't,
Two.
It's only
she
one.
said she was cool with that.
Two.
Yeah.
Okay, and the
but
rest are
it's not
questionable.
even about. It's not about being cool with it though. It's just like I don't think nobody more attractive than me.
Period.
Yep.
That's the
Are you on planet Earth?
confidence.
Very
everywhere.
much so. We see it all right here.
No, tell them you on Mars. You're not here.
No, we right here.
Nah, we not
We
here.
see this.
We on
All right, so what would you rate yourself out of a 10?
10.
I mean, yeah, shit's a 10.
Always.
Like,
All right, interesting. Okay, I guess we'll go with the girls that said no, they would not be comfortable with that. You want to go with that one first, Brandon? Or?
Yeah, let's do that because, as you could tell, it wasn't unanimous and it wasn't very quick.
they're thinking
Everybody had
about
to
it,
think about it. And the question you have to ask yourself is, why do you have to think about it? And the reason you have to think about it is because it's sketchy. Guys are innately attracted to women. That's why it would be,
But
just
what
say,
if the woman is attracted to women too?
if a woman is attracted to women and not men.
Polygamy.
Well, no,
I'm saying
I'm
it-
saying both. I mean, I think that's more so why I would be comfortable with it. You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of open in my relationships anyway.
Oh, so you
Oh, yeah, her and her, they put their hands up right away. The other
Yeah.
girls are all questionable,
Right,
saying,
right.
I don't know. So, I mean, if you want to go with the people that say, no, I would not allow it, you want to ask them, or do you want to ask the girls saying
Yeah,
yes?
no,
why
no.
not allow it? That means you're insecure, and if you're insecure, you don't need to be in a relationship because everywhere you go,
Okay, so you're with them. You would allow
everywhere
your
you
guy to
go.
have.
Yes.
You would allow, but again, he's being specific. Your boyfriend has a female friend that's significantly more attractive than you.
Yep.
I like girls.
Okay.
No, but he,
What's the
like,
problem?
She does have
There's
problem
no
because she likes girls.
problem.
Yeah.
So for the girls that said no, why are you saying no? We could start here with Miss Tunisia.
Well, I didn't say anything yet.
yeah, she was thinking about it, bro.
And actually, I'm still thinking. The thing is, I'm okay with him having friends, female friends.
But the key is one that's more attractive than you.
I know. I really don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, let me just give you an example as a man that's in a relationship, married. Me and my wife both probably agree with this almost 1,000%. That it makes no sense for us to have friends of the opposite sex. It just really makes no sense. There are people that you know of, right? You don't just abandon people that you knew when you were younger or stuff like that. But to say they're your friend, meaning that they can contact you, meaning that I'm okay with that person coming over to my house with my wife when I'm not there, because you should be able to do that if that's your friend. I think that it's inappropriate, and it leads to people having extramarital relationships. So people are not intending at times to do those things, but it's a temptation. That's why people with nannies, they end up messing around with the nannies and doing stuff like that because they don't set boundaries. So that's typically why people should be concerned and why people should put boundaries in place so that you don't end up falling for that temptation.
But at the end of the day, it's self-control, and if you can't control yourself, then I mean that's a whole other problem.
Right, but why make that an obstacle? I don't need to make it out. There's nothing a woman can be
Yeah.
my friend in. My wife is my friend. Anything that a woman can, but see, that's a relationship.
beautiful,
But that's a
though, yeah.
relationship thing, right? I'm
Yeah.
not talking to a woman about something I'm not talking to my wife about.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of that, a woman has really no purpose in being just my friend. Now it could be an acquaintance, somebody I know, somebody that I go to an event, I can make contact with, but somebody that I'm considering to be my friend, like my homeboys that are my friends. That means that we kick it with just me and them. We can go travel with just me and them. If it was just me and them at the house by ourselves, my wife wouldn't care because it's me and my boy.
Yeah.
It gets weird when you talk about the opposite sex, and there's a reason why, because men and women are attracted to each other, unless you're dealing with a situation where a person is completely unattractive whatsoever. But the question is, he may still think you attractive. So,
Yeah.
you know, I just think that's something that people should consider. Don't be naive.
I think the fact that a lot of them like question it and like, oh, I don't know. That's literally that hesitation says everything, right? Because when the shoe's on the other foot, women don't like. You know, I always say they could dish it, but they can't necessarily take it. So they always will say, "Well, you're insecure for not letting me have guy friends." But then if you were a guy and you were to have
Girlfriends.
girlfriends, they'd feel some type of way. It's just that scenario you presented is not normal. Most of the time, it's the girl that has the friends, and not the guy that has the female friends that are very attractive.
That's true.
And
Now, and interesting too, the girls that are
I
okay
agree
with
with
it
that, though.
are bisexual.
Right.
So, are you bisexual too, or no?
I have an answer.
No.
Oh, you have an answer now? Okay, what's your answer?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so my answer is probably if I get to know her and I think she's cool and not like weird or something, how I feel about her, and they don't hang out just the two of them.
Are you
alone.
bisexual?
I'm not.
That's interesting. So she's not bisexual, but she needs some degree of control,
Right.
and
That they're not
authority.
hanging out just the two of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, two of
So
them.
that typically means that they're not really friends.
Yeah.
Because friends should be able to hang out just the two of them with no question if they're
Watching
going to
them.
be intimate together or something weird going to pop off.
So we know why. So for her, she needs control. These two like girls. Why are you okay with your guy having a more attractive female friend than you?
Because I have a guy best friend, and I know him since I'm little, and he's like family to me, so I could like understand if somebody else has the same.
I give him 3 days in a room with you.
Okay.
Locked up.
So for you, it's more of
You
for you, it's
Break
more
it
of, like for you, it's more like, hey, I can't impose boundaries on him that I'm not enforcing on myself.
Yeah, and
You
I
wanna
don't
be
think
equal.
that girls and boys always need to fuck or something like that.
Mostly. Not
Oh,
always.
they don't.
No, it's mostly because at the end of the day we do get hard. Believe it or not.
Maybe
And
that's
it's like,
true.
oh shit.
No, but I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. So like, because this is a good question. The basis of their answer is based on their personal like situation. So for these two, we're bisexual. It's no big deal. For her, it's he can do it, but I need a degree of authority. For her, it's well, I already have it, so I can't tell him he can't have it. Isn't that interesting? Where it's like type of caveat where they would allow it.
Well, and it
No.
also is based on life experience and maturity, right? I mean, we talk about people who are 18 years old and not a lot of life experience.
True.
You know, some of them didn't disclose their body count. So maybe that's a cover because they were freaky and don't want to disclose it, or they're not and they just don't want to say it because they don't want to put their business out there. So I'll lean towards the not, meaning that they're not really sexually active to that degree. And with that being said, they don't have the experience of people cheating on them and how dirty people can really be and people sneaking behind your back. I guess the next question I would ask is that for the women who think that that's okay, have you ever had a person cheat on you?
Ooh.
All right, we can start here and work our way around. Have you ever had a guy cheat on you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, boy, she's 40.
Do you want them to explain or just yes or no, Brandon?
Huh?
You want
No,
me to
no,
explain? Okay.
just yes or no, and
Yes
then
or
we
no?
can get into it.
No.
All right. You ever had a guy cheat on you?
You.
It's your turn.
Sorry.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Why you have?
I'm kidding.
I mean,
You said yes or no for you?
I do the cheating. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not getting cheated on.
I hope your man in jail.
No, I'm just playing.
probably in jail cheating right now.
Paying in that cheating, ain't nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
You
man.
talking salt, nigga?
A
Question.
nigga gonna do what a nigga wanna do.
All right. What about you?
No.
Never been cheated on?
No.
Bro, she's
Not
single,
that I
bro.
know it, that I'm aware of anyway.
I mean,
You have been.
So pretty much, wow.
She said you have
Most
been.
girls here
Solidarity.
no. So only 2 have been cheated on. These 2, and the rest no.
Yeah, so I think that's a contributing factor, right? You gain a level of maturity and a suspicion when things happen to you, and therefore you guard yourself. Now, I don't believe that I've ever been cheated on, but I know what men think about. Men talk about this stuff. There are certain people that you got to stay away from. You don't need any connection with that person because if it get jiggy, it may go down. Especially, and you got to think about this. Raise your hand if you want to marry your best friend. Raise your hand. And this is how it starts, right?
Wait,
You had-
wait.
I don't want
Oh,
to
you
get
just
married
caught
again.
people. Hold on, you just
So-
caught a few people. Raise your
mean
hand if
like-
you want to marry your best
You
friend.
mean like
Right.
you want to marry the
Yeah.
haven't
You
met
want-
yet.
What I'm
Right,
saying is
starts
that
off
when I
as
say you want to
friends.
marry your best friend, that means that the connection, a friendship connection, is invaluable to finding a mate. So having a woman with a male friend, you develop a deep enough relationship, and where does that go, right? If you're having problems with your current man and your best friend is your best friend, right?
gonna call
You
him.
could talk to him when you can't talk to the person you with. And then what happens? They're there for you when the person breaks your heart. They're there for, they listen. And then you begin to compare the two. And then that's how infidelity happens. And this is why I think it's invaluable for people to understand the red flags and avoid them. Young people, be aware of that. Your husband or the man that you're dating, you should have a boundary there. Don't set yourself up for failure. And if that man does not hold a boundary, to me that's suspicious. If my wife tell me, hey, I don't want you being friends with these women, I don't need to be friends with these women. If I try to fight for that, to me that's a red flag. That's me looking for an out. If she mess up, I still want to hold this girl on the back end, and I think that's a problem.
All right, so question: what are the top 3 things that you would say that kept your marriage together? Top 3, so these girls can learn.
It's timing as well, right? I think if me and my wife, and this is where I may disagree with you guys sometimes about the age thing. I think that it was timing for us. I was in a place in my life of maturity, experience. I had a kid already. I was over that. I want to date women type stuff. I wanted to be married. And my wife was in the same situation. She was in her mid-30s when we got married. We both on the same page. We both had life experience that led us to each other. And that's how we made a commitment. And our commitment is long lasting because she partied and had her fun in college. I did my thing in college, and we met each other at the right spot. Now, when I say party and did a thing, I'm not saying my wife is out there tooting it up. You know what I'm saying? But I think that dating, being exposed to what you don't like, what you do like, sometimes women got to date men with money and get burned to realize that it's not about the money. Sometimes women got to date the dude. Y'all know what women talk about this a lot, where dudes, good in the bedroom. You got to date that dude that's good in the bedroom, that trash your life, to realize that it's not just about sex. And so there's a little bit of life experience and exposure that you have to have before you meet that person. So the key thing was timing. And then also, obviously, I'm a Christian. So that's what I want out of life. That's what I believe God has called me to do. So I'm pursuing that. If I didn't have that as my faith background or the foundation, then I wouldn't even pursue that to begin with. So those 2 things are incredibly important. And then understanding the value of marriage. That's one thing that I think a lot of people discard, maybe because they've been hurt or whatever the case may be. But the most important thing, in my opinion, that a man would do in his life is marry the right person. Marrying the wrong person will F you. Marrying the right person will set you up for success and make you the man that you could be with that wife that you would not be without her. So understanding that as an entrepreneur, I would consider a high value man is important, and those 3 things together can lead you to a successful relationship.
And then 4th is sex, right?
The
4th thing is sex.
No, sex. Like when you
5th, 6th.
when you get to a point in life where you get married and you have children and all that, sex is not as important as people think it is.
Okay.
When you're young, all you doing is humping. All you thinking about is sex. And some people, maybe not everybody, but generally speaking, that's why you have so many people having sex. That's why I don't think there's a single person at this table that don't have a body count. And that's what people think about when they're young, because that's hot. Your mind is not developed, to its full extent. But then when you start getting older, you realize that it can't be about that. Because when you're traveling, what you supposed to do? When you and your wife are separated from each other, what are you supposed to do? When the kids are crying and you got a little young baby in the room, you may not get none. like you think you want to. Well, what do? Your relationship got to be more than just a 20-minute episode.
That's true.
So
but, you know, if you're together, hey, baby, you know, I'm horny right now. What's up? She'll give it to you like every time you ask, right? Like,
no.
It's not, oh, I'm tired. No,
but it's reasons why, right? And because we're adults, like we have a real life, we got stuff to do. You know, people do get tired. As people get worn out. Take care of a little baby will wear you out. However, I think it's important that in a relationship, women do serve their husband that way. If he asks for it, you better be making sure that you provide that for him. Willingly.
Yeah, not forcefully.
Yeah.
Hey, bitch, come on, man.
I wouldn't advocate that. If you got to do that to your wife, something wrong.
Yeah, something wrong.